My fiancé said, "I'll do whatever it takes." I replied, "I can't marry someone who lies to me." Then I walked out of the party, ignored 17 calls, canceled our wedding plans, and I just watched as her double life collapsed, from one lie at a house party to the moment I packed my bags. AF Tales is back with another story. This one is about a man who finds out his fiancée has been hiding an emotional affair just 3 months before their wedding. As you listen, think about the moment you would have said enough. I am 28 years old, and 3 months ago I thought my whole future was set. I was engaged to Lauren, the woman I had been with for 4 years. We had a date, a venue, deposits paid, families excited. I honestly thought we were solid. Then one Saturday night, everything changed in about 2 hours. That night, Lauren told me she was going to a birthday party for one of her old college friends at a rooftop bar downtown. She had been talking about it all week, about what she was going to wear, who might be there. Around 7 p.m., she kissed me goodbye, grabbed her bag, and left in an Uber wearing a black dress I had never seen before. I remember thinking she looked beautiful. I also remember thinking how lucky I was. Looking back, this is how a lot of painful stories begin. Nothing feels wrong at first. That is what makes it hit so hard later. I settled in for a quiet night. I ordered Thai food, put on a documentary, and was just starting to relax when my phone rang around 8:30. It was Becca, her best friend since high school. She sounded tight and stressed. "Hey, where are you right now?" she asked. "I'm at home. Why?" "You need to come to 1247 Oakwood Terrace right now. Don't call Lauren, just come, I'm serious." My stomach dropped. "Is she okay?" I asked. "She is fine physically, but you need to see this for yourself." Then she hung up. I pulled up the address. Oakwood Terrace was on the other side of town. It was a regular residential street, nowhere near downtown, nowhere near any rooftop bar. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my keys. On the drive over, I tried to reason my way out of the pit in my stomach. Maybe the party had moved. Maybe a friend lived there. Maybe Becca was overreacting. But the way her voice had sounded, that mix of anger and pity, did not fit any harmless explanation. Sometimes your body knows before your mind will admit it. That heavy feeling in your chest is often the truth trying to get your attention. When I pulled up, there were cars lining the street and music thumping from inside a modest 2-story house. Through the windows, I could see people moving around. It looked like a normal house party. I was halfway up the walkway when Becca stepped out onto the porch. She looked miserable. "I'm sorry," she said right away. "I debated calling you, but you deserve to know." "Know what?" I asked. She gestured down the street. "The third house on the block is where the actual birthday party is." "That's where I am. That's where Lauren told you she'd be." My stomach turned. "But about an hour ago I saw her car parked here," she continued. "I texted her asking where she was. She said she was at the birthday party with me." My blood went cold. "She lied," Becca said quietly. "I walked over and looked through the window. I saw her inside, and I saw who she was with." "Who?" I asked. Becca's jaw clenched. "Go see for yourself." I walked inside. The house was packed, maybe 30 people between the living room and the kitchen. Music was loud, red cups everywhere. No one paid attention to me as I moved through the crowd. Then I saw her. Lauren was standing in the kitchen, leaning against the counter, laughing at something a guy was saying. His hand was on her lower back. She was not pulling away. She looked relaxed and happy. He was tall, athletic, wearing a vintage band t-shirt. I had never seen him in my life. I froze. Part of me tried to tell myself it might be innocent. Maybe he was just a touchy friend. Maybe I was reading it wrong. Then she tilted her head back, still laughing, and he leaned in close to her ear. His hand slid from her back to her hip, and she let him. This is one of those moments where reality snaps into focus. You can tell yourself stories all day, but your eyes do not lie. I walked straight toward them. She did not notice me until I was about 5 feet away. When she finally looked up and saw me, every bit of color drained from her face. "Andrew," she whispered. The guy dropped his hand and stepped back, looking between us, confused. "So this is the birthday party?" I asked. My voice sounded calm. I did not feel calm. Lauren pushed herself off the counter, stumbling a little. "What are you doing here? How did you—" "Becca called me," I said. "She told me to come see where you really were." "Andrew, I can explain," she said. "Explain what?" I asked. "That you lied to me about where you were, that you said you were downtown at a rooftop bar, but you're actually here with some guy's hand on you." The guy raised his hands a little. "Whoa, man, I didn't know she had a—" I cut him off without looking at him. "Get out of here." He left fast. Lauren reached for my arm. I pulled away. "It's not what it looks like," she said. Tears were already forming. "This is Kyle's house. He's Jenna's brother. I came here after the other party ended early." "You texted Becca an hour ago saying you were still at the birthday party with her while you were here," I said. "You actively lied." "I knew you'd be upset if I told you I was coming here," she said. "Why would I be upset?" I asked, "unless you were doing something wrong." She did not have an answer. People around us were starting to notice. The music suddenly felt too loud, like it did not match what was happening. "Who is he?" I asked quietly. "Just a guy from—" she started. "Who is he, Lauren?" She swallowed hard. "Someone I knew in college. We reconnected a few months ago. He reached out on Instagram. We started talking. It was just friendly." "A few months," I repeated. "You've been talking to him for months and never told me." "Because it didn't mean anything," she said quickly. "It was just messages." "Does just messages usually involve him touching you like that?" I asked. Her face crumpled. "Andrew, please, can we talk about this at home, not here?" "No," I said. "We're talking now. How many times have you seen him?" She went quiet. "Lauren," I said, "how many times?" "3," she whispered. "Including tonight." It felt like the floor shifted under me. "3 times," I said. "You've met up with another guy 3 times behind my back, and tonight you lied so you could see him again." "I wasn't cheating," she said. "We were just hanging out and talking." "With his hand on your hip while you wear a dress I have never seen before," I said. She shook her head, crying harder. "I didn't do anything physical with him. I swear. I've just been confused. Wedding planning has been so stressful and you've been working so much, and I felt alone and he was just there." "So this is my fault," I said. "No, that's not what I meant," she said quickly. "I just felt like I was losing myself, and talking to him made me feel like my old self again. Emotional cheating does not feel like cheating to the person doing it. To the partner who is left in the dark, it feels exactly like betrayal. You felt alone, so you started an emotional affair with some guy from college and lied to your fiancée about it for months," I said. "You hid messages. You lied about where you were. You told Becca you were with her when you were not. Please don't do this here," she begged. "Please, let me explain everything at home. I made a mistake, but we can work through this." I looked at her, really looked at her, and something inside me went quiet. The panic and anger faded into a kind of cold, clear feeling. "I don't think we can," I said. Her eyes went wide. "What?" "I can't marry someone who lies to me like this," I said, "who hides entire relationships from me." She was sobbing now, gripping my shirt. "I love you. I made a mistake, but I love you. We can fix this." "You loved me and still did this," I said. "That's the problem." I gently took her hands off me and stepped back. I walked outside. Becca was on the porch, right where I had left her. One look at my face and her shoulders sagged. "Thank you for calling me," I said. "For what it's worth," she said. "I told her 2 weeks ago she needed to tell you about Kyle or stop seeing him. She promised me she would. She didn't. Sometimes the people around them see the problem before you do. It hurts, but it also means you are not crazy." Lauren came out behind me, mascara streaked down her face. "Andrew, wait please," she said. "I'm going home," I said. "Don't follow me, I need space to think." "How much space?" she asked. I did not answer. I got in my car and drove away. That night she called me 17 times. I did not pick up. She sent long texts apologizing, explaining, promising to block Kyle, promising to do anything. I read them. I did not respond. Over the next 3 days, I stayed at my brother's place. Lauren kept sending long messages about how selfish she had been. She sent screenshots of her blocking Kyle. She wrote a long letter about everything she loved about me. None of it changed the basic fact she had lied on purpose, over and over. On day 4, I agreed to meet her for coffee. She showed up looking exhausted, eyes swollen from crying. "Thank you for coming," she said. I just nodded. "I know you're angry," she said. "You have every right to be. What I did was horrible. I have no excuse." "You're right," I said. "You don't." She flinched. "I've been thinking about why I did it," she said quietly. "I think I got scared." "Scared of what?" I asked. "Of everything being final," she said. "Of getting married and that being my whole life. Kyle represented this old version of me from before. Before responsibilities, talking to him felt like being 22 again." "So you wanted to relive being 22 and still have me waiting at home," I said. "I didn't think about it like that," she replied. "I just felt like I was losing myself in wedding planning and talking to him was an escape." "Do you hear yourself?" I asked. "You are describing an emotional affair. You found someone else to confide in and to make you feel good. You created a secret relationship because it gave you validation." "I know," she whispered, "and I hate myself for it." "I don't need you to hate yourself," I said. "I need you to understand why I can't trust you anymore. Trust is not only about whether someone slept with another person, it is about whether they are honest when no one is watching." "So that's it," she said, voice shaking. "We're done." "I don't know yet," I said, "but I do know I cannot marry you in 3 months, not like this." "What about couples therapy?" she asked. "We could work on rebuilding trust." "Lauren," I said, "we were not even married yet and you were already looking outside the relationship. When things get hard after we are married, when we have kids someday and you feel alone again, what happens then? Do you just find another Kyle?" "This was a one-time thing," she said. "It won't happen again." "You saw him 3 times," I said. "You lied for months. That is not one mistake. That is a pattern." She reached for my hand. I let her hold it because I was too tired to pull away. "I will spend the rest of my life making this up to you if you let me," she said. "I will go to therapy. I will do whatever it takes." "That is the thing," I said. "I don't want you to become someone else. I thought you already were that person. Finding out you weren't, that is what I cannot get past." We sat in silence. She cried. I did not. Eventually, I stood up. "I need more time." "How much time?" she asked. "I don't know," I said, "but I need space." "Andrew, the wedding venue, the deposits, our families," she started. "I'll figure that out," I said, "but I can't keep moving toward a wedding like nothing happened." I left her sitting there. 2 weeks later, I made my decision. I had spent that time talking to my brother, my best friend, even my dad. I pictured what staying would look like and what leaving would look like. I imagined standing at the altar, saying vows, trying to ignore this heavy feeling in my chest. I could not do it. I asked Lauren to meet me at our apartment after work. "I'm calling off the wedding," I said as soon as she walked in. She froze. "What?" "I can't do it," I said. "I tried to imagine moving past this, but I can't. Every time I think about marrying you, all I see is you lying to me." "Andrew, please," she said. "We can work on trust. People come back from worse." "Maybe they do," I said, "but I can't do that while planning a wedding with you." She sank down onto the couch, shaking. "So we're breaking up," she said. "I think we have to," I said. "You think or you know?" she asked. "I know," I said. She made a small sound, half sob, half gasp. "I ruined everything." "Yeah," I said quietly, "you did." She looked up at me. "Do you still love me?" I thought about it. "I don't know," I said. "I love who I thought you were. But I don't know if that person ever existed." "She did," Lauren said. "She does. I made a horrible mistake, but I'm still me." "The version of you I knew wouldn't have done this," I said. "So either you hid this side of yourself for 4 years or something changed and I missed it. Either way, I don't know you as well as I thought, and I can't marry someone I don't really know." She buried her face in her hands and cried. I felt empty and exhausted and sad, but underneath it, I also felt something else starting to grow. Relief. "I'll move out," I said. "You can keep the apartment." "You don't have to leave," she said. Yes, I do, I said. I went to the bedroom and started packing. She followed me and stood in the doorway. I'm sorry, she said for what felt like the 100th time. I know you are, I said. Is there anything I can say that would change your mind? She asked. I stopped and looked at her. No, I said. Sometimes the hardest boundary is not the first one you set. It is the one you keep when the begging and tears start. I finished packing and walked to the door. She was sitting on the floor, crying silently. For what it's worth, I said, I hope you figure out whatever you were looking for, but I can't be part of that process. I want you, she whispered. You should have thought about that before you lied, I said. I closed the door behind me. That was 3 months ago. Since then, I signed a lease on a small studio apartment. I started going to the gym more. I reconnected with old friends and threw myself into work. I have not talked to Lauren since the day I moved out. She texted me a few times in the first month, mostly apologies. I did not respond. Eventually, the messages stopped. Becca told me Lauren moved back in with her parents and is in therapy now. I think that is good for her, but it is not my problem anymore. My mom asked me last week if I would ever try again with Lauren. I told her no, that part of my life is over. Do you miss her? She asked. Sometimes I miss who I thought she was, I said, but that person doesn't exist. I do not know if I will ever fully understand why Lauren did what she did. Maybe she got cold feet. Maybe she felt lost. Maybe both. In the end, it does not really matter. What matters is that I trusted my gut. I did not ignore the red flags. I did not let guilt about the money we spent or fear of starting over trap me in a broken relationship. Some people might say I gave up too easily, that I should have gone to therapy, given her one more chance, held on tighter. But the truth is, she knew exactly what she was doing. She made deliberate choices over and over. She lied to my face more than once. And when I caught her, her first instinct was to minimize and deflect. That is not one mistake. That is a clear picture of who someone is in that moment. Calling off the wedding hurt. Ending the relationship hurt. Rebuilding my life hurt. But marrying her would have hurt more. Now, 3 months later, sitting in my little studio eating takeout alone, I do not regret my decision. Not for a second. The night Becca called me, I thought my life was falling apart. Now I see it for what it was. That call was the warning. The breakup was the escape. I dodged a bullet, and I am grateful I did. Lesson 1: when someone lies to you over and over, the problem is not one mistake, it is their pattern. Lesson 2: emotional cheating is still cheating when it is hidden, defended, and used as an escape from the relationship. Lesson 3: you do not have to wait for physical proof to decide that your trust has been broken. Lesson 4: calling off a wedding is painful, but marrying someone you cannot trust is worse. Lesson 5: missing who you thought someone was is not a reason to stay with who they are showing you now. What do you think about his decision to end the engagement instead of trying to rebuild trust? At what point in this story would you have walked away? And have you ever stayed longer than you should have in a situation like this?